It took 10 years for me to get a diagnosis for my Lyme. I was kind of lost in the traditional medicine system. I started having really increased symptoms of digestion, like intestinal problems, to the point, by the time I got to the point of finding Envita, I couldn't really eat anything and be functional. So I was pretty desperate, along with a multitude of other issues like concentration, memory issues, muscle pain, fatigue where I couldn't get out of bed for weeks. I had, MRIs, CAT scans, colonoscopies, endoscopies, you name it. I had a multitude of tests and they could not figure out what was wrong with me and just wanted to put me on medication. And I was like, that is not the answer to my problem. What's wrong with me? I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Then I started having digestive problems, so I went to a GI and was there for years. Decided that I'd go to a nutritionist. I had cardiac, heart issues, so I went to cardiologist. And I was the healthiest person on paper on all the tests. Everything looked fine, and I felt like I was dying. And it was a long haul. I probably saw about 30 doctors before I got to one who was Lyme literate. I actually was excited because I had an answer. Little did I know how challenging it was going to be to try to deal with Lyme disease and treat it. And so I got pretty desperate and went online, and Envita popped up. So I'll tell you right from the start, when I just reached out, I got a phone call within an hour, which I was really impressed by. The gentleman I spoke to was kind and compassionate, answered all my questions. And then I spoke with Ashley Grimmel, and she was awesome. And then meeting with Dr. Warren, I remember coming for the consult, and the first meeting we had, which was about 3 hours, he said to me, "So tell me, Melissa, what do you think's going on in your body? What do you think is happening? Because you know your body best." And I was like, oh my gosh. No one has ever asked me that question. And I immediately knew this was going to be a collaborative effort. It wasn't going to be, this is what we do, Melissa, do what we say, you need to do, and you don't have a say in this. It was, let's work together to get you better. This is us wanting to get you better. I can tell his excitement for hearing about my progress, and he's really invested in his patients. And so that's why when we decided to bring Maeve here, we requested to have Dr. Warren, because he's just been awesome to work with.
So when I was a toddler, I kind of had sinus issues and ear infections all the time. That kind of went away when I was in 7th grade. And then it came back towards the beginning of 8th grade and freshman year with all these other symptoms. I was tired, my muscles hurt, but it didn't really start until after I got a concussion because I play hockey. And then I got the flu after that. And then everything just kind of came on top of me after that. I got really sick. And at first we didn't really know what it was. They were like, oh, it looks like the flu when I was really sick. And then they were like, they didn't really know. They couldn't figure out what it was. And then my mom was like, this looks exactly like what I had. She was like, I want to take you in and get you tested for Lyme disease. So I got tested once by the CDC standard test. And it came back negative. And she was like, this still looks like Lyme. We need to get it figured out. I got tested 2 more times by that test, and it came back negative. And then she's like, I'm not messing around. She brought me to her naturopathic doctor. They tested me with a different test, and it came back positive. She said, we're not taking any chances on bringing you to Envita.
The biggest thing for me here is the consistency in the compassion and the care that you receive from everyone, whether it's the women at the front desk, whether it's, Ashley, whether it's, any of the nurses or the medical assistants. It's consistent across the board. So that makes you feel like people care and you're part of the family.
So I came in and I was like, you're exactly right. This is an amazing place. Everyone's so caring. Everyone's so nice. These people, they care about what's happening to you. They want to help you. And it really just made me feel so good about myself.
Everyone you talked to could relate to what you were going through, which it was a different world. When you're outside trying to work and people they don't really get what Lyme disease is. You don't look sick, but when you're here, everyone's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had the same experience.
I got to meet amazing people that I will never forget. Like, everyone here is awesome. And just the feeling of knowing that I can go home and I'm going to be feeling better makes the world to me. So
when I went through treatment, it was like I could eat like 5 things. Still felt horrible, but it managed it a little bit. And now I'm pretty much able to eat whatever I want. I'm careful about it and, and healthy and maintaining the health I've attained by treatment.
What are you most excited about returning home? What are you looking forward to the most?
So I haven't seen my dog in 6 weeks, and she's my little baby, so I miss her and I get to see her, and then just kind of jumping back into everything slowly, but starting a normal life and getting to be with all the people I love.
Being with my family, trying to get back to normal life, and being able to eat more, because it was a hobby of mine before I could. So, and that does a lot for your just psyche and emotional health too. It was one of the best decisions in my life that I made to come here, because it literally saved my life.